I'm not seeing anything. I'm assuming I'm live, but I can't see anybody, and I can't see myself. That's right. Hi, my name is Valzubiri. I'm assuming I'm live, but I can't see anything and I'm not moving on my screen. So I'm just this is video number 1, okay? And if you're a huge company or a small company or an individual, this is for you. You can scale it up or down, okay? As you can see, if you're looking at the screen right now, this is what I call #valzubiriagenda. You look for an artist who makes an announcement of scarcity and makes an announcement of a schedule of increasing prices. Now, as you can see on the screen, it's, for example, this is an example, right? $50,000 per art piece for 250 works, right? So, for example, like me, if I make an announcement that I want to only make 6,500 works, and I want to get it done and over with, and then I'll stop producing. So that way you can trade my work, art pieces, even though I'm still alive, and you don't have to wait 75 years for you to be able to, even use the copyright. So that way I wouldn't be competing with you, right? And everyone else is trading the works. Okay, so how do you make 10 billion bucks? Let's say you're a pension fund, and let's say you, well, obviously some of you need like $50 billion to finance your pension fund, right? So my suggestion is okay, here. See that? Okay, so let's say I price myself right now at 50,000, right? For 250 works. I still would make exceptions with institutions who would get in bulk, right? If you get 200 works at 50,000, and everyone else, and this becomes like a, what do you call that? And this becomes like an art movement all over the world, right? And artists and investors, art collectors, and resellers, and book designers. I'll talk to you about that later. Book designers, if all of us bunch together in groups, right, we can promote artists, and so that 50,000 at the start, as more and more work together to promote the artist, right, we can reach 51.2 in 11 steps. See, and you can't do this with stocks. You can't do this with real estate. And as you know, everyone's over, stocks are right now, they're saying that it's overvalued and might come crashing down. If you stick to an artist, the artist sticks to the prices and the prices don't go down. See? So now here's the thing. Let's say I do 250 works at $50,000 each, right? So let's say some of you would be in groups, some of you would be individuals, some of you would be businesses. We're assuming that you can afford that, right? Now, if you can imagine this, get 250, right? Get 200 works, okay? if you're a pension fund, let's say I stick to that price, 50,000. You evaluate it at 51.2 as soon as you get your paperwork. So obviously I can't be producing like 250 works overnight, right? But if you have the paperwork, bring it to your financial institution. Okay, and that'll give you, so you paid for this much, and then you evaluate it at this much. Even if you evaluate it at 12.8, you're still better off, right? Now let's say 51.2, right? Let's say this is our ideal price right now. Multiply that by 200 works, then you'll get 10 billion to $240 million. $10 billion, $240 million, right? That's what you're going to get. So what does that show you? Bring it to your financial institution, you know, and borrow that money that you need. Okay, so this is like a lazy man's way to make a lot of money, because obviously I'm going to be the one who's going to be working. You know, you have to concentrate on the artist, right? So obviously I'm the willing victim who's going to do the dirty work, you know, and everyone else is just doing the same thing, you know. Like, just tell people. Let's say you're one of the 250, right? You tell 10 people, right there. So let's say you're 250. You tell 10 people, and each one tells 10 people. How many is that? Like 2,500 people. You would have like informed people in businesses and institutions and for-profits, non-profits. Everyone buys art, right? And everyone wants to make money. You know, everyone's got a financial problem right now. So only 250 can be entertained at this price, see? Which means the next 250 will have to be paying the 200,000. We have to stick to the price, right? Because everyone's expecting the higher prices to be reached. And it's an honor system, you know. I can change it anytime I want, but I can't just, you know, like be too mean to everybody who's already paid, right? So that's the idea here. It can snowball in a very short time, you know, reaching 51.2, and you can resell anytime you want and give a discount to the next investor. Okay. Now, why do I have this distributed in like 50, 100, 200, right? This is exponentially increasing. It's not incrementally increasing. If I increase this incrementally, I would have done 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. That's very slow, and it punishes the later investors. See, with this schedule, everyone's going to be enjoying faster returns, right? Much higher. And not only that, even if you get into my price scheme, right, my price points, even if you get into, like, for example, 3,200,000, all you need to do is to wait for the iteration of the next, iteration of the price, you know, and it's going to be 6,400,000, right? You can tell your investors, investment club or corporation or the public, that your investment just doubled. See, there's no need to wait. Now, another reason for this increase, you know, this schedule increase. Imagine this, right? Let's say all you can afford is 50,000, right? Chances are, you know, this is the 6 degrees of separation that my theory of 6 degrees of separation. Chances are, you know, people who can afford $100,000 per art piece, and not the 51.2 here. See? Now, if you are able to afford 6,400,000 per art piece, chances are, you know, people who can afford 12.8 and 25.6. See, that's what it is. Now, as far as 51.2, the reason I stopped there is it can be increased, you know, but I stopped there because out of respect for Picasso, you know, Picasso, excuse me, Picasso is, you know, probably sells right now for $75 million, right? So I don't want to go past that, because you're going to say, hey, that's not, you know, that's almost not possible. But when we start getting into the 12.8 and 5.6, that's a different story, because we'd already be far ahead into this schedule of prices. I can make an announcement of the next price, right? It doesn't have to be $100 million, right? It can be something much, much higher. Okay. And the reason being that, by that time I'll probably have enough credibility. Okay. Now here's, okay, so this is what I call hashtag valzubiriagenda. Now anyone can do this. Any artist anywhere in the world can make an announcement and say, hey, you know what, get my art because it's going to go up in price. Now, even galleries, would probably adopt this or adapt to it. Why? Because they're not making money right now. Okay. Now, here's the thing with me. You can represent me any which way you want. Like you can be a cafe, or actually you can be any type of business, even a small store. As long as we have an agreement, you can represent me. So if you need money, and this is the thing. Okay, if you think about this and use it for yourself, right? Let's say you pretend you're an artist and you want to use this for yourself. Imagine that right now. It's gonna make you nervous. Okay, it's gonna make you nervous. It's gonna make you go like, oh my God, I don't know about this, because it's an instant project for you, because it might be hard for you to visualize, the higher numbers, right? Now here's the thing. I've been planning this for more than 25 years. When I started reading about, how to promote yourself and all that, and how to become a well-known artist, I read about those things, way back in the 90s. And by 1996, I started, 95, 96, I became a columnist for a regular, monthly paper here in Chicago. And I learned about, I basically practiced what I read, and it said there that the way to be more, the way to be a leader in your field is to get into print. Okay, what's print? Print can be your business card. Print can be your, you can be featured in print, right? In newspaper, for example, and magazines. And I've done that. I became a columnist for a monthly paper. And here's the thing, you can be, if you get featured once, in a day, in a daily newspaper, right? The next issue comes out, you're forgotten. Okay. And so the trick to this is to become a columnist. Okay, and that's what I did. So 11 months I was there. I learned how to make a newspaper. Now here's something else. One of the tips also said, if you can, write a book. Write a book that's related to your field. Okay, what books can we write? As artists, there are 4 types of books we can write. Okay, memoirs, biographies, art books, and art catalogs. Now, the art catalogs are important because if we've learned anything from Beanie Babies, people would steal and destroy your property just so they can steal Beanie Babies, like at night, when your store is closed. In this case, all you need from artists like me would be art catalogs of original art, and the prices, as you see here, they would keep changing, right? So we don't have the prices in our catalogs. All you will have would be a shelf full of catalogs of artists, and it's kind of like a lazy man's way of making a lot of money because, like I said, I'm not exclusively represented by any gallery, which means you and your neighbors and everyone else in the community and the rest of your country or city or the rest of the world will be can be representing the same artists. See, so I can be selling at 51.2, and I wouldn't leave you. You'll still be selling me. At 51.2. We'll come up with a way to standardize this. This commission and referral system, so that everyone, or not necessarily everyone, but hopefully, like maybe you and the rest of your community gets, like if you get to sell something, then you get a major commission, and the rest of your neighbors who are also representing me would get, like would divvy up a smaller amount, And here's a good thing too. If you buy my art and I'm represented by your neighbors and everyone else in your city, then and the rest of the world, then by all means let them know that you own art number 55 on page 25 of book number 1, something like that, and everyone's going to get alerted, and they'll get to sell your work, at the higher prices as the higher prices get reached. Yeah. Okay, now let me tell you my strong point, and let me tell you my weak point. Okay, my strong point, or my weak points first. You're going to trust me, together with everyone else. And art is, once again, art is global, and art is not regulated. It's portable. You can mail out to everybody, anywhere in the world. And so you're going to have to trust me. I don't have art yet that I can send you. So that's my weak point. However, that's also my strong point. Okay, I'm encouraging everyone to, like we're trying to reach the highest prices, right? So why would you wait for by the time you wait for something to be finished from an artist like me, for example, it might be too late for you to make a purchase because the higher prices would have been reached. See, so the ones who would be into this early on would be the ones who are open to new ideas. And this is obviously a new idea. I'm hoping this becomes an art movement which would go global. It wouldn't just be an art movement in the city. It's gonna be global. And so I'm hoping to reach the higher prices. Here's another reason. If you're paying $50,000 and you want my goal is to make dioramas of my doll art, and I would like to standardize the prices. Okay, in my mind, I always envision myself as the Fabergé egg of what I do, which is the dioramas with the bankrupt. Okay, now I wanna use gemstones and precious metal, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and gemstones, right? And that's why I'd like to reach the higher prices even before I even like distribute my art and send out my art to everyone, or start sending out my art, as they get produced. Because the 50,000, comparing with the 51.2, I'd like to put in more gemstones on the 50,000. I don't want to be, just because it's early. If I'm able to gather, like higher numbers, higher amounts per piece, then that would work for you, because I really seriously would like to upgrade your work, being that you're the first people who would believe in me. I'd like to thank you, for doing that. How can I do that? I wanna give you more gemstones than I probably should. Okay, and that's why I'm encouraging everyone to get into this. And you get into this, make a reservation with me, and then tell 10 friends and see what they think. The chances are they don't want to miss out on this as well. The FOMO, fear of missing out. Okay, now here's something else too. Some considerations. Okay, storage, shipping, and insurance. As the higher prices get reached, then we're going to be worried about storage, shipping, and insurance, right? So we'll come up with that. We'll deal with that later. I can't even answer that right now. What else can I tell you? My strong point is, I forgot. Okay. I told you I was a writer, right? Let me show you something. So obviously I can't produce catalogs because you're gonna have to get my works sight unseen for now. Okay, and then I'll start producing my catalogs. Now here's something else. If you get my art and you start getting art from other people, even if you get art for $5, I am allowing you to. If you own my work, it's your copyright too. So you can do whatever you want with my work as long as you own as long as you own it. Okay. And then if you resell, that's an agreement you're gonna have with other people. But here's the thing: if you, for example, and let's say my art reaches the 51.2, right? And you start collecting other people's works, and some of your collection costs you like $5. That's okay, you can make your own catalog, and you'll have a catalog with all different artists, right? And you can also have the vendors, the sellers, restaurants, cafes, anywhere, anywhere and everywhere. You can have them. You can request for them to sell and resell your works, and that goes for everybody. So that's the reason why I don't want to be represented exclusively by one single gallery, because the situation right now, the financial situation right now, all of the world needs a new idea. Then this is a new idea, and you can sell art. And if somebody insults you and says, "Why? How dare you sell art?" You can go like, "Well, Val said so." Just do that. Okay. Now, here's my strong point. Okay. So I told you that I'm a writer, and I'm encouraging everyone to come up with your memoirs, biographies, art books, and art catalogs, right? So I have 5 now. I have 5 memoirs. They're in book form, obviously. And this is the reason why we need books, because, like I said, I wrote columns, and I've proven to myself that those columns, they're forgotten, But books, they're different, columns and articles and whatever, they get forgotten. Okay? They get displaced. If a new issue or new newspaper comes out, the previous issues are forgotten. Okay, but with books, imagine this: you write one book, you write a second book. Your first book doesn't get displaced. The second book compounds into the first book. So by the time you say you have 10 books, that's 10 books. It's not one book and 9 old ones. So that's the importance of books. Books are forever. And I'm telling you now, don't even bother to be in a newspaper or magazine. And online, everyone can go online, but everyone can also take down their, it's as fast as you put up a web page, that's as fast as you can disappear to me. So books are important, and just put them on Amazon. Okay, now let me show you my works, right? Okay, right there. So I have five books, and I consider them my memoirs, right? So there's that, and then this Dowman the Musical. Now Dowman has been noticed by some Hollywood companies, but I told them I want it on stage first. So it's written for the stage, right? But I'll make a more lengthy memoir about bells another time in the future. Okay. Now there's my 5th latest book, Valzubiriagenda. Now, if you can notice this, see when you see, this is the first design, right? This is the final design. Okay. And I co-wrote this with Silverio Perez. See, so okay. So now there's Wonder and one of our mentors. Now, I designed these three. I designed these 3 at the same time. I released them simultaneously in 2014. And this marquee sign that you have here, they're actually the 2-page proposal that I have for the banks when I see. So I had the 2-page extra with the marquee, and the ones without the marquee don't have the message. Okay, so that's the reason why I purposefully designed them to look like 1980s independent publisher type of, the design that I have here. I did that because that was into 2014, and I wanted to do it first before, I didn't want to be too serious with my works, because I wasn't ready to announce my stuff, So now that I'm announcing it because everyone needs to make money, then I'm going to tell you now, I'm claiming to be the current living contemporary artist who's personally written the most memoirs that have the perspective of a visual artist in the world. Okay, so I have 5 that I consider part of my Memoirs of an Artist series. I'll have 5 more released in 3 years. And even, let me say this, even if I didn't do it, right, if